Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela, and today I'm going to do with you the tailor bikini bottoms. So I've got my pieces already cut. My client wanted the thong version, and actually she did not want the really deep V, so I've rounded it a little bit just for her. But of course the technique of making it, of sewing it, is actually exactly the same. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to use the same lycra for the main fabric as for the lining, and I've placed or I will place the back piece on top of my front piece like this, and the same for the lining. Let's call this one the lining, and this is my main. I am going directly, I've pinned the crotch, yes, and I'm going directly to my serger. And if you don't have one, like I always say, please do use your zigzag stitch or your normal sew machine. So of course, since I do have a serger, it's so much easier for me to actually just overlock it. So as you can see, I'm actually first stitching the crotch area. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna slightly adjust my stitch length. And for the lining, I am actually going to do the same, but I'm going to leave a little hole in between the stitches, so I actually can later turn it through this little hole, right? If you find this technique difficult, you can just unstitch once you've stitched. I'm already used to it, so I'm just going ahead like that. And now the next thing I'm going to do, I am going to place the main fabric on top of my lining fabric. And what I'm going to do, I am going to pin practically all around. So I'm going to pin the leg openings and as well the upper part of my front and then back. So like I said, I'm going to show you with my finger. I'm going to pin the upper part, both of my back piece and front piece, and as well the leg openings. I will be doing this off camera, and I'm going to show you because well, I always recommend in my instructions, I always recommend you to do a basting stitch before you are serging or overlocking. I always do this because I don't want my fabric, in case they are slippery, sometimes it happens, or the fabric is moving. It's so much easier first to practically keep the fabric together with your normal sew machine. So what is a bast stitch? A bast stitch is actually just a simple straight stitch, and this is made with the highest stitch length. And once you've done, the idea is to remove it or to rip it. What I actually do, I always make small cuts through it. So you know what, since I'm talking so much, I'm almost done pinning, and I actually just wanted to show you on this upper part how I will be doing my bast stitch. So I'm going ahead to take my sew machine and I'm going to show you how I do my bust stitch. Just this one, the upper part of my front piece. So I'm doing the bust stitching, and I will show you how I make these little cuts into it once I'm done. I will be doing all the rest off camera. So as you see, I just leave these little sides, I leave them unstitched. All the rest I pin them, and I'm doing the bust stitch. Once I've done the bust stitching all over, I go ahead to my serger and I serge and add elastic in the same time. So as you see, my stitch length is on 4. And as you can see, I'm going quite close to the edge, because I don't want my stitch to be visible, my bust stitch. And as you can see, this process is actually so easy, you know, because adding the elastic can cause a little bit of your fabric to move. So next I'm going to do like every 2-3 centimeters these little cuts into it. And once I've added the elastic, I give it always like a little stretch so it loosens it up. I try not to overstretch it, of course, but it's just to loosen up the bust stitch. So since I'm done with this bust stitch, I'm going to show you actually how I serge and add elastic in the same time. I'm using rubber elastic. I know some of you are asking me, yeah, is it obligatory to use elastic? And I always say yes. I have a business, a small handmade business, and I've always used elastic. I will always use elastic. I want to make sure that the bikinis are holding so much longer for my clients. So as you can see, I do have an elastic guide, which is helping me tremendously. In case you don't have, you can always guide it with your finger, with your hand. I still do this sometimes. So look at this beautiful stitch. I'm just cutting a little bit the edges. So now I'm going ahead and I will be bust stitching and adding elastic all over, and I will just leave the sides undone to both parts, the back piece and the front piece. And once I'm done, I come back and I show you how I finish these bottoms. It's so easy and so fast to make them. Yeah, I can make a lot of them in no time. So thank you, and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. I've stitched all my elastic on everywhere, and I just have to finish it now. So what I'm going to do, actually, through this little hole I made, I've left, right, I'll be turning my back piece on the right side of the fabric. So I turn it through that little hole. And first thing I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to do a straight stitch over my sides. Why I do this? Because I want the 2 layers of fabric to hold in place together like this, right? And I'll be turning the other side, so then it's easier for me to introduce it back into the bottoms. Okay, so I've got it turned on the right side of the fabric, and I'm going ahead and do a straight stitch this way of doing these bottoms, it's actually used to make your bottoms reversible. So in case you do not want to add lining and you just want to add another let's say color of fabric, you just simply replace the lining with another lycra, and then you using this technique, you will have beautiful reversible bottoms. Okay, so I did this straight stitch on my bottoms, right? And this is my this would be my lining side, because on this side I do not have the elastic added, but of course you can only introduce them back the same way as it's following the stitch from here, right? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little safety pin. I'm going to take my safety pin, and I do have a trick. I guide it like that through the 2 layers of fabric, like that, and I make sure that I'm not twisting it until I reach to the end, like this. You see, I get it out exactly like this. So my fabric, I make sure that my fabric does not get twisted, or my back piece does not get twisted, right? Of course, if you do have a lining and a main fabric, of course it's so much easier to identify whether it goes well through. I just I'm making sure I'm not moving the safety pin through, so I go the same way on the other side through the front piece, which is still turned on the wrong side of the fabric. Like this. And now I go ahead straight to my sewing machine, and I just make sure that my 4 layers of fabric are aligned, right, like this. And I'm going to do just one straight stitch over, like this, and go all the way till the end. And then I turn it on the other side to make sure that I indeed sewn over the 4 layers, and yes, I did. And next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce my stitch length, and now I go over back and forth. I trim the excess fabric like this, and I will be repeating the same thing on the other side. I will be doing this off camera, so not to bore you. And once I'm done, I just pull everything through here, and my bottoms are ready. Last, I will be actually doing an invisible stitch with my an invisible hand stitch. That part I will not actually show you. There are many videos on the internet how to do an invisible hand stitch, or you can just simply do a straight stitch with your sewing machine to close the hole. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me. Happy sewing!